Welcome to our chilling journey through Italy's most haunted locations, where history and ghostly legends intertwine. From the sinister whispers of Poveglia Island to the cursed halls of Cadario, these places have long been plagued by dark pasts and restless spirits. Join us as we explore the terrifying tales that still haunt these sites today. 1. Poveglia Island, Venice. Poveglia Island stands as one of Italy's most infamous haunted locations, a place where death and despair linger in the air. During the Black Death, the island became a forced quarantine zone, where anyone displaying symptoms, no matter how mild, was dragged against their will. The sick and the healthy alike were sent there to rot, their bodies thrown into mass graves or burned in pyres. Over time, the island became a living tomb, with its soil said to be made up of human ashes. Explorers today report seeing shadowy figures and hearing screams in the dead of night, echoes of the thousands who perished in agony. The most disturbing accounts come from those who claim that the spirits of these plague victims try to pull visitors into the same dark fate, leading many to believe that the island itself is cursed. Fear lingers like fog, making Poveglia a place where the line between the living and the dead is razor thin. 2. Cadario. Venice Cadario, a grand Venetian palace, is as beautiful as it is deadly. Known as the house that kills, it has claimed the lives of nearly every owner since the 15th century. The curse began with Giovanni Dario, whose family faced financial ruin and untimely deaths. His daughter committed suicide, and soon after, her lover was stabbed to death. The string of tragic fates didn't end there. Over the centuries, each new owner has been met with violent death, including murder, suicide, or bizarre accidents. The palace, though alluring from the outside, hides dark secrets within. Visitors have reported a suffocating presence, like invisible hands gripping their throats. Strange shadows dart across its ornate halls, and a constant feeling of dread hangs in the air, as if the palace itself is alive, feeding off the misery of those who enter. Locals say that Cadario traps souls within its walls, forever cursed to relive their tragic ends. 3. Castello di Poppi, Tuscany. Perched high in Tuscany's Arezzo province, Castello di Poppi is as much a monument to beauty as it is to bloodshed. Behind its grand facade lies the chilling tale of Matilda, a seductive and ruthless countess. Known for her beauty and charm, Matilda would lure young lovers to the castle. Once she tired of them, she would lead them into a hidden chamber under the guise of escape, where a trapdoor sent them plunging to their deaths on sharp blades below. Matilda's ghost is said to haunt the castle still, her spectral figure appearing at night, wandering the hallways in search of new victims. Visitors have reported eerie cold spots and hearing whispers echoing through the empty halls. Some even claim to see her apparition, a pale figure with blood-red lips, her eyes filled with malice. It's as though the castle has absorbed the wickedness of its former mistress, creating a foreboding atmosphere where the past and present collide. 4. Montello Castle, Poggia Toriana. Montello Castle is home to the ghost of Azzurina, a young albino girl whose tragic fate has left a permanent scar on the castle's history. Born with white hair in a time when albinism was feared and misunderstood, Azzurina's mother tried to dye her hair dark to protect her. But the dye turned her hair a strange shade of blue, earning her the nickname Azzurina. On a stormy summer solstice night in 1375, the young girl was playing with her ball in the castle halls when it rolled down into the dungeon. The guards heard her terrified scream, but when they rushed to her aid, she had vanished without a trace. To this day, Azzurina's cries can be heard echoing through the castle every summer solstice. Visitors claim to hear her eerie laughter, followed by the tragic sound of a child's scream, sending chills down their spine. Some believe Azzurina is still searching for her ball, forever trapped between the world of the living and the dead. 5. Palazo Pen Naples. Palazzo Pen, or the Devil's Palace, is steeped in dark legend. In 1409, Antonio Pen, a secretary to the King of Naples, fell in love with a woman who demanded an impossible task: to build her a palace overnight. Desperate, Pen made a pact with the devil, exchanging his soul for the woman's hand in marriage. The devil built the palace, but Pen tricked him by scattering grains of wheat coated in pitch across the courtyard. The devil, unable to count them all, lost the wager. In rage, he sank into the palace as well, never claiming Penny's soul. Today, the well is said to be a portal to hell, and strange occurrences plague the building. Visitors report seeing apparitions, hearing growls, and feeling an unshakable sense of evil lurking in every shadow. The palazzo's haunting serves as a reminder that no deal with the devil comes without its consequences. 6. Villa Magnani, Kona. Once a grand estate, Villa Magnani has fallen into ruin, haunted by the spirits of those who died within its walls. The most notorious tale is that of 4 young men who ventured into the abandoned villa. As they explored, they heard the unmistakable sound of children playing and a woman's voice screaming in agony. In the dead silence of the night, they saw shadowy figures darting across rooms. Terrified, they fled, only to be tormented by nightmares for weeks afterward. Locals believe the villa is cursed by the ghost of a mother and her children, who were brutally murdered within its walls. Strange phenomena continue to plague the property, with visitors reporting eerie footsteps, disembodied voices, and a suffocating sense of dread that seems to follow them long after they've left. 7. Castello Aragonese, Pizzo Calabro. Castello Aragonese holds the restless spirit of King Joachim Murat, the former king of Naples, who was executed here in 1815. Murat's ghost is said to wander the halls, reliving his final moments before his death. Visitors have reported hearing the faint sound of footsteps echoing through the empty corridors, followed by the chilling sight of a spectral figure dressed in regal attire. Murat's ghost appears on the anniversary of his execution, his presence filling the castle with an overwhelming sadness. Some have even claimed to hear his last words whispered in the wind: "I die for my country." The castle, though a beautiful ruin, is drenched in the sorrow of its tragic past, a place where history and the supernatural collide. 8. Capuchin Catacombs, Palermo. The Capuchin Catacombs of Palermo are a chilling sight, with over 8,000 mummified bodies lining the walls. These corpses, some of which are incredibly well preserved, were once wealthy individuals who paid to be embalmed and placed on display. The most famous of them is little Rosalia Lombardo, a 2-year-old girl who died in 1920. Known as Sleeping Beauty, her body is so well preserved that she appears to be merely sleeping. However, strange things happen in the catacombs. Visitors often feel watched, and some claim to see the dead moving out of the corner of their eyes. The most unsettling reports are of Rosalia's eyes occasionally opening, as though she's still alive, watching those who come to visit her eternal resting place. 9. Witches' Village, Triora, Liguria. Triora, the village of witches, is a place frozen in time, haunted by the memory of a brutal witch hunt. In the 16th century, more than 200 women were accused of witchcraft, tortured, and burned at the stake. Their cries of pain and pleas for mercy still echo through the narrow streets. Today, the village is shrouded in mystery, with visitors reporting eerie sounds, ghostly apparitions, and the sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. The most terrifying encounters occur near the old witch's prison, where cold spots and whispers seem to come from the walls themselves. It is said that the spirits of these women still wander the village, seeking revenge for the horrors they endured. 10th Borgo a Mozzano, Ponte del Diavolo. The Ponte del Diavolo, or Devil's Bridge, is a place where legend and reality blur. Built in the 11th century, the bridge's impossible design led many to believe that its architect made a pact with the devil. The deal was that the first soul to cross the bridge would be sacrificed to the devil. To trick him, the builder sent a pig across, enraging the devil who cursed the bridge. Today, it's said that the devil himself haunts the bridge, lurking in the shadows, waiting for an unsuspecting soul to cross. Strange mists often rise from the river below, and some claim to have seen a dark figure standing at the center of the bridge, watching them with glowing red eyes. 11. CAD De Anime, Voltri. CAD De Anime, a forsaken inn on the outskirts of Voltri, carries with it a reputation as one of Italy's most sinister haunted locations. In the 18th century, the innkeepers were notorious for their gruesome practice. They would lure travelers to stay the night, only to murder them in their sleep and rob them of their belongings. The bodies were buried hastily around the inn, and the spirits of the murdered guests still roam its grounds. Visitors report chilling experiences, hearing footsteps behind them when no one is there, whispers in the wind, and a heavy, oppressive atmosphere that never seems to lift. At night, it's said that you can hear faint cries for help, and those who venture too close claim to feel a cold hand grasping their shoulders, as though the souls trapped in the inn's tragic past are still seeking vengeance. No one dares to stay too long, for fear of meeting the same fate as the inn's countless victims. 12th. Donana Palace, Naples. Donana Palace, a grand yet crumbling structure, is one of Naples' most haunted sites, a place where love, tragedy, and the supernatural intertwine. It was once the residence of Anna Caracciolo, a noblewoman who had a secret love affair with a young fisherman. When her father discovered the relationship, he ordered the fisherman's execution, and Anna, devastated by the loss, spent her remaining days wandering the palace in mourning. Some believe her spirit still roams the halls, searching for her lost love. Visitors often report a chilling sensation of being watched, and some have even heard soft footsteps echoing through empty rooms. The most terrifying claim is that on stormy nights the sound of a woman's mournful wail can be heard drifting over the water, a ghostly reminder of a love never fulfilled. Her tragic presence is said to manifest as a flickering candlelight or a figure draped in black, forever trapped within the walls of the palace. 13th Ospedale Monte Katon, Imola. Ospedale Monte Katon, a former tuberculosis hospital, stands as a grim testament to suffering and despair. Patients who once came to this place for treatment were met with death rather than healing, with many dying within its walls. The hospital is now abandoned, but its dark past refuses to be forgotten. Ghostly apparitions of former patients, especially a young girl, are said to haunt the dark hallways. Visitors have reported hearing eerie cries in the night, followed by the sound of shuffling footsteps as if the sick souls are still searching for relief. Some have even claimed to see the figure of the girl, her hollow eyes staring into the soul of anyone who dares to enter. Despite its decay, the hospital is a place where the tormented spirits of the past refuse to rest, trapped between the worlds of the living and the dead. 14th Abbey of Luccadio, Piedmont. The Abbey of Luccadio, a place that once echoed with the chants of monks, now lies abandoned and consumed by the passage of time. This site is haunted by the malevolent spirits of the monks who lived there, many of whom were possessed by dark forces. The abbey is known for its cursed pillar, a relic that is said to be the source of the monks' corruption. Legend holds that one monk, in his pursuit of dark knowledge, made a pact with the devil, which led to the ruin of the entire order. Since then, the pillar has become a portal to evil, with locals claiming that it weeps blood on certain nights. Strange, otherworldly sounds emanate from the ruins, and it is said that the cries of the damned can be heard as they are dragged into the depths of hell. Visitors who dare to explore this forsaken place report an overwhelming sense of dread and a feeling that something dark is watching them, waiting for the right moment to claim them. 15th, Purgatory Museum, Rome. The Purgatory Museum in Rome is a somber and chilling reminder of the souls caught between heaven and hell. It is said to house objects that bear the markings of those trapped in purgatory, souls that have not yet found peace. Among the most unsettling items is a series of handprints, supposedly left behind by souls who sought help from the living before their journey could be completed. Many visitors report a strange sensation of being watched, while some claim to have seen faint shadows moving in and out of the museum's dark corners. The air is thick with an eerie sense of heaviness, as though the spirits of the restless souls are still reaching out for help, begging for release. Some visitors have even experienced physical sensations, such as cold touches on their skin or the feeling of something brushing past them. The museum, though small, serves as a haunting reminder that the line between the living and the dead is fragile, and that the spirits of the lost may never truly rest. If you enjoyed this haunting tour of Italy's eeriest places, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more spine-chilling stories. Have you visited any of these haunted locations? Share your experiences in the comments below, and stay tuned for more ghostly adventures around the world.